Alrighty, guys, we are back. Let me double check this real quick. It's probably going to echo, which I'm sorry, but as you guys know, I like to make sure the audio is fine before I start streaming. Make sure you can hear the music, plus. Alrighty, guys, we are. Because of that right there. Because of that right there. Let me turn my mic down, since I am a very vocal person. Let me turn mine down. I will eventually get this to the way that I like it. So, one quick second. Okay, you guys. Let me try that, see if it works. For some odd reason, it's popping up on my end that I'm really loud. Like eardrum busting and everything. So, let me try that really quick, see if it works. If it does, great. If not, okay, you guys. Let me try that, see if it works. For some odd reason, it's popping up on my end that I'm really loud. Like eardrum busting and everything. So, I know that's annoying, guys, but let me try that really quick, see if it works. I like to make sure, like I said, that the audio is good, simply because I don't want you guys to have to listen to me talking really loud. But in today's video, I also want you guys to have the music to listen to, so, which I can turn down on my end. That way it is not that crazy on my end. Anywho, hello you guys, boos and ghouls. Welcome back to the channel. If you are a regular on here, if you are brand spanking new, hello to you as well. Thanks for stopping by. I'm Rockin' Gamer, and I do all things physical media. I love movies, comic books, Funko Pops, NECA figures, graphic novels, mangas, animes, you name it. As long as it's got a physical, I like it. So, as the title suggests, we are doing my part 1 of my horror movie collection, which I didn't intend on doing this way. I was actually intending on taking you guys over to the closet, showing you guys, and couldn't get my GoPro to work, could not get my phone to work, so I was like, heck with it. So I've got A through I right here sitting on these planks, and we're just going to go one by one, and I'm going to show you guys A through I of my horror movie collection. So, also, as the description says, I did take out the steelbooks for this video. I am going to be doing a separate video for my steelbooks. So, if you guys want to see the steelbooks, you'll have to go check that video out. This is basically a mix of box sets. It's a mix of Blu-rays, DVDs, 4Ks. There's a couple of TV series in there as well. So, if that's your thing, stay tuned. But I'm not going to waste any time on this at all. The only other thing that I am going to say, smash the like button, comment down below what your favorite item is out of this. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I am going to be once again posting part 2 of this tomorrow, and then we'll split it up, steelbooks, individual box sets, stuff like that. The only other thing that I can think of, and I want to go and stress this at the beginning, I know I'm prolonging this video longer than it needs to be, but the only other thing that I want to get off my chest right now is I do not condone animal violence. I do not condone children getting hurt. I don't condone violence. I watch horror movies. Horror movie is my favorite genre because of the special effects. It is because of the soundtracks, the music, the scores, the cinematography, the plot. I do not watch horror movies because I get a kick out of seeing people getting hurt, specifically children and animals. So the reason I say that is there are a few in my collection that I do own that are kind of questionable from a normal viewpoint, but I wanted to go and let you guys know that I do not condone that. So if you watch this video and you're like, Rockin' Gamer said to go out here and watch this movie, and the movie was super graphic, super violent, don't think anything of it. I simply just watch it because it's a horror movie. And literally, that is it. If it has the label horror movie on there, I watch it. So the only one that I will say that I've never watched, and I will never watch, is Serbian film. If you know Serbian film, you know the drill. It's just, that's too far for my liking, and I'm good. So, alright, so let's go ahead and jump on into this. Like I said, I'll be leaning over and going back and forth quite a bit, so stick with me. Also, there's like half of these that I haven't seen and some that I have, so I'll try to talk about the ones that I have. First up, 12-Hour Shift. I've not seen it. This is one that my wife wanted me to pick up at McKay's when we did one of our McKay's runs, and haven't got to watching it. So check this one out. I'm gonna try my best to get through these as fast as I can. 28 Days Later. 28 Years Later just came out a couple months ago. I'll get to that one in the steelbook section because I did not buy a slipcover version. I ended up buying the steelbook, luckily. 28 Days Later, it's been a while since I've seen it, so can't really give too much on it, but from what I remember, it is a really good zombie flick. I know it's in the horror community, some people say it's zombies, and some people say it's not zombies. It's zombies. Danny Boyle directed this. I don't remember who the producer was, but pretty good film. Check it out. Next up, we've got 28 Weeks Later. I have actually never seen 28 Weeks Later. This is one I picked up at McKay's for only $9, Blu-ray. Once again, I simply just bought it because I never seen it, and then I never got to watching it. So, this is definitely on my list of movies that I need to see. I'm trying to figure out how to do this, guys. I'm sorry. Alrighty. Next up, very quick, double pack, 28 Days and Weeks Later. Next up is a Tim Burton produced film that never gets any acknowledgement. That is 9. I am surprised this movie does not get talked more about because of how good it is. You always hear people talking about Corpse Bride and, you know, Nightmare Before Christmas. You never hear anybody talk about 9. Really good movie about these little dolls. Basically, their owner basically gives his soul to each of these dolls, and there's 9 of them. And whenever the 9th one comes out, he's like, well, why do we exist? So basically the movie is about these 9 little dolls, little figurines, that are trying to figure out why they exist, how they exist, and what is going on in the world outside. And as you can see, there's some really messed up, like, robots and shit that are trying to kill them. Really good film. I mean, like I said, does not get talked about enough. So there's that one. Next up, we got 47 Meters Down Uncaged. I do not own 47 Meters Down, the first film, which kind of sucks because I enjoyed it, but I do own Uncaged. Uncaged is also a really good one. This is a shark film about, basically, about these people that go down to these ruins that are underwater, and they run into a bunch of sharks. So it's really good about capturing that claustrophobic feel to it, and it's also a really good shark film. When you see the shark show up, you're like, holy crap, you know something's about to go down. So 47 Meters Down Uncaged, really good shark film. We got the ABCs of Death. I have actually never seen this. This is 26 Directors, 26 Ways to Die. Once again, never seen it, but it is on my list of movies that I need to see. I've heard a lot of good things about it, kind of like an anthology type deal. But my wife also told me that the ABCs of Death is also an Agatha Christie book, so definitely will be checking this out. Two things I like, Agatha Christie and anthology films. So next up, we've got the Alien 6 film collection. I have seen Alien, Aliens, Alien 3, Alien Resurrection, but I've never seen Prometheus or Covenant, surprisingly enough. But Alien is one of my favorite franchises. I love the Xenomorphs. I have not brought myself to watch Prometheus or Alien Covenant. Based on what I've seen in trailers and stuff, if the Xenomorphs are not in it enough for me to enjoy it, then I don't think I will. But eventually I will give it a watch, or give those two a watch. So, Alien franchise. And then obviously, Alien Romulus. You thought I was going to leave it out, didn't you? I do own this one with a slipcover, but I also own the steelbook. So if you want to see the steelbook, you'll have to watch the steelbook video. Purchased this one because I didn't think I was going to buy the steelbook, and then I ended up buying this. This is the 4K Blu-ray and digital code combo, and one of the reasons that I have not gotten rid of the slipcover version is because I think the slipcover version is sick. As you can see with that little glare, this is like embossed, debossed. You can like feel the face hugger. I find this really cool. I was gonna triple dip and get the steelbook, this slipcover, and the Blu-ray slipcover, because the Blu-ray slipcover is black with the same picture and everything, but it's black with the debossed embossed, and it just looks so good. So I was gonna triple dip, but I didn't. I only got two of them. But Alien Romulus, really, really, really good film. I think I'm one of the very few that actually enjoyed it. I think that was long overdue. So. And it was very scary, in my opinion. Well, the end of it was very scary. Next up, we got Alien vs. Predator double feature. I have seen both of these. Don't remember anything that happens in them. Don't shoot the messenger. They were forgettable. From what I remember, they were super dark. It was hard to see what was going on when things were happening. It was a roller coaster. So, I might give them a rewatch here pretty soon, because I think we are going to be getting an Alien vs. Predator 3 with Predator Badlands coming out soon, and then Alien Romulus, and then the Alien Earth series on HBO Max that came out. So I might be giving this a rewatch because I do think Alien vs. Predator 3 will be coming out soon. So really excited for that. First up, we got Annabelle 1. Good starter film. Kind of wish we would have got a little bit more backstory, but as you're about to see, we did get 2 other movies. Annabelle 1 was okay. Like I said, the scares were there. The story that you do get is there, but it's one of those where you kind of wish they did like a... Hold on. Let's do it this way. There we go. Annabelle Creation, and Annabelle Comes Home. I kind of wish that they would have done Annabelle Creation first. That way that they could have got the Annabelle storyline, like, started off with the origin of Annabelle. I think that would have been a good starter film. Also, Annabelle Creations goes into the first film. It's one of those weird scenarios where this one ends where this one starts, if that makes sense. So I kind of wish that they would have, like, it goes like this. I wish they would have done that to begin with. Obviously, if you do own these or you watch them, you can watch Creations first and then the first one second, but it's not really going to make that big of a difference. If you kind of want the story of Annabelle before you watch the first one, then that's the way to go. Annabelle Comes Home, absolute dog shit, did not like it. I don't remember anything that happens in this movie. The only thing that I do remember is this weird vaporized werewolf creature thingy. I don't know. It sucked. So honestly, I would watch these two and then completely skip Comes Home. But if you're one of those weird completionists like me, you can watch all three of them. It literally does not matter either way you do it. So alrighty, then we got Antlers. Really good Wendigo Skinwalker movie. It has been a while since I've seen this, but from what I remember, it's a really good film. I did not know Guillermo del Toro produced this. Makes sense though. Antlers. I don't know how to explain it. Basically, this kid's dad is turning into a skinwalker, and this teacher thinks that the kid's being abused. Well, I mean, he kind of is, but the teacher gets involved in this kid's life, and then they end up getting the police involved and CPS, and then they eventually go out to the house and find, you know, what's going on. And like I said, it's alright. It's been a while since I've seen it, but it was pretty good. My wife didn't enjoy it, but I did. Next up, we got Abigail. This one was a decent watch. I was not excited for it. I was not one of those people that was like, I have to watch it, I have to watch it. But like I said, it was alright. Basically, the people that made Ready or Not and Scream 2022 and Scream 6 made this one. I'm trying to find her name, Melissa Barrera and Catherine Newton. Haha, got it. I'm usually really bad with names. They star in this, and those two plus the dude that was in Clown in a Cornfield, can't remember his name either, but those three make up this movie. They're really good. I will say Melissa Barrera is one of those, like, actors in this, but Catherine Newton, she's great, and the dude that I was talking about is great. He's actually right back there. I cannot remember his name to save my life, but he's really good in this. He's like this big guy that they think's like a really bad dude, but he's actually just dumb. He's one of those hulking giants that end up just being completely left ball field. So All Fun and Games from the Russo brothers. Have not seen it. I did watch the trailer for this before I bought it, so don't freak out and thinking I just purchased a movie without, you know, digging into it. But I thought it was really interesting based off the trailer, so I went ahead and grabbed it and just never got to watching it. So I think basically, as it says in the title, I think they play like these different games, and there's like demons unleashed, and yeah, it says they play deadly versions of childhood games, and this demon is making them do it. So it sounds really fun. I just have not gotten a chance to watch it, which kind of sucks, but yeah, there you go. All Fun and Games. Oh boy, this one. I'm going to get a lot of hate for this, and I'm going to get made fun of for this, but Alvin and the Chipmunks meets Frankenstein and the Wolfman. I literally grew up with this, both of these films. In elementary school, we watched it. I can't remember if it was Wolfman or Frankenstein. I think it was actually both. But we watched this in elementary school, and I ran home. Well, didn't run home. I rode the bus home. And as soon as I got home, I told Mom and Dad, I was like, hey, we watched this Alvin and the Chipmunk movie today, and it's Frankenstein and the Wolfman. We went to Walmart that afternoon, and they actually had it on the shelf. So I have owned the same copy of this movie since I was in elementary school, and I'm 23 and graduated. So yeah, I would like to upgrade if there is a Blu-ray of this. I don't think there is, but if I can find a Blu-ray of this, I would love to upgrade. If not, I'm glad I have it in my collection. So, and both of them's really good. The musical numbers are really good, and I mean, obviously, it's Alvin and the Chipmunks. So, next up, we got American Horror Story. This is seasons 1 through 7. Stopped at Asylum. Me and my wife watched this, and the first one was really good. We liked it. We thought it was interesting. And so we took a little bit of a break, and then we got into season 2. Well, by the end of season 2, both of us looked at each other and went, what the fuck was that? And we quite literally had to take a mental break and never got back into it. So, I think this October, the spooky season, I will be binging the next season, or the next 2 seasons, but one was pretty good. It was an alright starter, but Asylum was fucking phenomenal. The only name that I can think of right off the bat is Evan Peters. I mean, obviously, but Evan Peters kills it in his role, quite literally, and the Asylum really, like, dives into the Asylum, kind of like backstory, if you will. So you get to see like clips and stuff of real life asylums. So I would like to finish them, but I don't know. That was a mental roller coaster in the 2 seasons we did watch. And I'm sorry if it seems like I'm like agitated or not, like all here, if you will. It's really hot, and the furnace is blowing, or not the furnace, the air's blowing right at me, and it's really hot, so yeah. Anywho. Next up, we got Alice, Sweet Alice. I've been meaning to watch this. This is actually a new release. Not the movie. The movie itself came out in... Let me find it for you guys. I gotta get better at figuring out when these movies come out, so I'm not taking up a bunch of time. Well, this release, the 4K release of Alice, Sweet Alice came out this year. 1976, according to this. So, I've been meaning to watch this. I actually really want to watch this. I think it's going to end up being on my 31 Days of Horror, but I just haven't got the chance to watch it yet. So, can't really say much about it, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Next up, I know, is a bootleg. You can go ahead and shame me in the comments, but we got Army of the Dead. Have not seen it. It's a Netflix exclusive. Found this at the flea market for $6, and I was like, whatever. I did pop it in my DVD player, and it does run like a normal DVD, so it's one of those bootlegs, but is what it is. Next up, we got a 2025 release. This is our very first 2025 release, and I will say, very disappointed in this. I thought this was going to be a really good Alien-esque film, but it was not. It ended up being a mix of Alien, The Thing, and Mandy, which I've not finished. But it's a very psychedelic space movie that just, I don't know how to explain it. It was not that good. My wife ended up playing on her phone halfway through it, not even halfway through it, and I straight up was like, I started it, I need to finish it. So I struggled all the way through. The ending was pretty good, but even the ending could not save this film. So you will see it pop up again on my 25 movies of 2025. But for right now, nothing but good, nothing but bad things on that one. Next up, we got American Fright Fest. I'm really excited to dig into this one. I think I am going to be watching this one pretty soon as well for my 31 days. I am a big, big fan of Hellfest, Haunt, Houses October Built, and whenever I read the back of this, I was like, I really need to watch this. It is basically about this guy who is an A-list horror director, and he's been in and out of rehab several times, and finally they were like, do you want to produce a local Fright Fest? And he goes, sure. So this is basically haunted house type film, so that's honestly the biggest reason I bought it, is because once again I love things like Hellfest, Haunt, Houses October Built, and we will dive into all three of those when we get to them. And then last but not least on this stack, the Amityville Horror, which I have actually not finished all the way through. For what I remember, I got 1/3. I can't even tell you how far I got into it, but I got decent far into it, and I couldn't finish it. I think I ended up falling asleep. I do want to give it a rewatch just to say that I watched it all the way through, but wasn't a fan of it. Next up, we got Beetlejuice, the complete series, the animated series. Really love these. I have binged this 3-4 times, honestly. I think that there's a lot of things that they could have incorporated into the movies, and they didn't. But still a really good animated series. I would recommend checking it out if you're a big fan of Beetlejuice. If not, I would still recommend checking it out if you like horror movies or cartoons. Next up, we've got Bates Motel. I have been really wanting to dive into this one. I am a big fan of Psycho. Me and my wife love the Psycho franchise, and knowing that this is kind of like an origin or a backstory type deal made me really excited for it. I just haven't had the chance to watch it, but since I own it, it's always an opportunity. So, can't really tell you much about it, but there you go. Next up, we got The Bird with the Crystal Plumage. Another one that I've not seen, but it is a Dario Argento film. And another reason I bought this is because I watched the Cat O' Nine Tails, and I actually really enjoyed Cat O' Nine Tails. And I've been getting really into Giallo films as well. So, 1, this is a Giallo film. 2, it's a Dario Argento film. And 3, I've heard it's kind of like Cat O' Nine Tails. So, really wanted to give it a watch. Then we've got, which this does not make sense, but to each their own. Next up, we got Amityville Horror Collection. Once again, barely made it through 1. I've not seen the other ones. This one has 1, 2, 3, and then it has a documentary on the Amityville case. So you get 3 films plus a documentary. I also picked this up for like $9, so figured why not. Next up, we've got Alligator. Another one that I've not seen. This is one that I was really excited to check out. I ended up watching Lake Placid, and I basically looked up horror movies with alligators, and literally Alligator popped up. So I was going to buy the Shout Factory version, but I ended up buying this one instead, since it has both films plus a bunch of other really cool stuff. So, Alligator. Then we've got Army of Darkness. The reason this isn't in my Evil Dead section is because Army of Darkness, they do not call it Evil Dead Army of Darkness on the case, so I was like, crap. Really good film. Obviously Bruce Campbell kills it, no pun intended, once again as Ash. And this is probably, I like all the Evil Dead movies, so I can't really Can't really give a number for this one. I like them all equally. But this one it goes full out with the campy. It goes full out with the comic portions of it. So, really good film. And also, I never realized that, shoot. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is why I have my wife to help me with these things, because let me figure this out, because this one is gonna agitate me until I figure it out. Bill Moseley. I don't know why I couldn't remember that name, but I never realized that Bill Moseley plays the skeleton version of Ash. So that's a pretty cool little fun fact you can walk away with. Oh, thank goodness. I was wondering when we were going to get to this one. As Above, So Below. Really, really good found footage film. It does get talked about in the horror community, but honestly, this is probably my top 5 found footage films. I really liked the cinematography in it. I loved the plot and everything, even though the plot's pretty much like every other found footage film. The only other thing that I'm probably going to get shit for is this one goes way above Blair Witch Project. I could not get into Blair Witch Project, and we'll get more into that when we get to it. But As Above, So Below, I thought was so much better than Blair Witch. I know it's sacrilege, but it is what it is. Next up, we got April Fool's Day. Really good, I would say, dark comedy, honestly. And if you watch it, you understand why. Basically, a bunch of kids go off to this, one of the kids' house, and every April Fool's Day. And this year, there's a killer on the loose and tries to kill the kids and, well, teenagers. Sorry, YouTube. But tries to kill the teenagers, and there's this, like, big plot twist at the end of the movie that I will not spoil, because I think this is a really good watch. So, April Fool's Day. Next up, I'm going to try to somewhat censor this. Fuck it, whatever. I put no kids. I put not suitable for children. Autopsy of Jane Doe. Really good autopsy movie. Didn't think I was going to enjoy it. Ended up loving it. My wife ended up loving it as well. This is a whole roller coaster ride of a film, honestly. I don't know how to explain it. It's a good movie, and that's pretty much all I can say from it. But definitely give this a watch. You won't be disappointed. Let me get some water. I think that's another reason that I'm not doing too good on this stream. Awesome. Next up, we got Ash vs. Evil Dead, the series. Really good series. My wife loved it, and when she loves horror movies, you know it's a good one, because she's not a big fan of horror. We binge watched 1 through 3, all the way through. Well, we had breaks, obviously. We had to sleep and everything, but pretty much when we woke up or when we got home from work, we binged the hell out of this one. And really love the characters in it. I love the two. I think it's Kelly and... I know it's Kelly. And Pablo. Kelly and Pablo. Really good, basically double characters. Or not double characters, but backup characters. And even sometimes they do a really good job as main characters as well. So, when Ash isn't on the screen causing chaos, Pablo and Kelly are. So, you definitely don't get a break from the chaos, because one of those three is always on the screen, and when they are, shit's always hitting the fan. So, Ash vs. Evil Dead, and every season was great. There was not a single season that was better than another. So, next up, we got Abraham Lincoln, the Vampire Hunter. I will get a lot of shit for this one as well, because I've heard it not get a lot of good things talked about. But I actually really enjoyed this movie. Obviously, it is fictional. Obviously, it is one of those where, you know, everybody was like, what if Abraham Lincoln was a vampire hunter? And so they were like, well, let's make a movie. And they did. They made a book, and then they turned it into a movie. So I think it's a really good film. Check it out. Next up, we got a classic, The Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad. Love The Adventures of Ichabod, not a big fan of The Adventures of Mr. Toad. I would recommend watching both just to say you did, but if you want to know my honest opinion, I think The Adventures of Ichabod is way better. Obviously, Sleepy Hollow, Ichabod Crane, yeah, classic. And then we've got The Black Phone. We're actually getting this one in the next couple weeks, and I'm really excited for the sequel. Love the first film. If you are a regular on the channel and you've seen my previous uploaded videos, you will notice that I am dressing up as the Grabber this year for Halloween. I've already got the mask and I did an unboxing of that, but I had this really sweet edition of the Black Phone, and I really hope we get another one of these for the sequel. But if not, I'm honestly happy with this. So okay, let me fix this really quick, because for some odd reason I did that backwards. So next up, we got Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon. Really good found footage film, and the reason I do the air quotes on this is because in a way it's found footage and in a way it's not. Basically, you go with these reporters that are trying to figure out what it's like to be in the life of a serial killer, and so they basically find Leslie Vernon, and he's like, yeah, you can tag along with me and basically set up my next murder or my next kill. And so once again, they basically record him going on his killing spree, and you quite literally see each thing that a serial killer has to do to set up for their grand finale, if you will. So really good Robert Englund cameo in this, which I actually find really funny, considering that it straight up is like, yeah, I take inspiration from Freddy and Michael and Jason, and then you got literally the dude of Freddy Krueger playing as this cop that's trying to stop Leslie Vernon. So really cool cameo from Robert Englund. Blade. So don't hate me for this. I quite literally just watched Blade for the very first time, and I liked it. I honestly loved it. I think it was a really good watch for 31 Days of Horror. And the funny thing about this is my wife has seen Blade, but I have not. So it was kind of weird going into it with her seeing it and me not, because usually it's the other way around. And Wesley Snipes puts on a really good film. We were going to watch the second one, and then she chickened out. So, but Blade 1, really good. Blade 2 through House of Chthon, which I guess you wouldn't even count in the series, but first one's the only one I can talk about. Next up, oh god, this film. Better watch out. I would have been more into this if they would have got rid of one of the plot points, which I know a lot of people is going to be like, well, what do you mean by that? If they would have got rid of this one plot point, I think this would have been a really good holiday film, if you will. It's still, in a way, considered horror because of what goes on, and I won't spoil it too much, but Yeah, this movie wasn't that great. I was trying to find a redeeming quality to this film, and there is no redeeming qualities. So yeah, just trigger warnings for SA, but other than that, god awful film. Next up, we've got Black Friday. I really wished I owned this on Blu-ray or 4K, but Devon Seawa, Bruce Campbell, two of the biggest names that I can think of at the top of my head. Really good dark comedy about this store that is still opening for the holidays, and then there's this big virus that breaks out, and so it's basically, it's like if you take basically Evil Dead. Is pretty much what I would say. It's like Evil Dead meets yeah. Evil Dead meets Thanksgiving. I don't know. It's still a really good movie though. Check it out for sure. We got the Banana Splits movie. Really good film. Actually based off of a TV show back in the day. I can't remember what decade that Banana Splits came out, but they did make this film because of Five Nights at Freddy's. They couldn't get the licensing, they couldn't get the rights to Five Nights at Freddy's, so they were like, let's make a bunch of knockoff films. And so this was, I think, and I want to say, this was the very first knockoff film that they made. Basically animatronics, they invite, it's kind of like Five Nights at Freddy's meets Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Basically, a bunch of kids get an invitation, and you had to be one of the special kids to go. And so, this one kid that's a big diehard Banana Splits fan gets picked, obviously like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. So this kid goes, and basically a bunch of shit happens. So, a bunch of murders, and they're kind of freaky, but they're not like super freaky. But I thought it was a pretty good cheesy B-rated horror film. Next up, Before I Wake, never seen it. I'm going to try to speed this up as much as I can. That way we can get through it. The Blackening, I thought I was not going to like this film, but I ended up loving it. A really good dark comedy. Basically what you would think. It is about this movie where this group of people go to this cabin every year, and this year they go and they think that it's they think it is the Triple K members that are attacking them, and then one minute they're like, well, maybe it's somebody in the friend group, and it's basically what you think. The tropes are there. The tropes, which is kind of funny, the tropes are still there, but they're trying not to do the tropes, but they do the tropes. So really good, like I said, dark comedy. Definitely check it out. The Babadook, another one that I didn't think that I would like, but ended up loving. Really good Australian film. Not much to it. Basically a widowed mother having to take care of their son who has these special needs, and is like, she wants to commit crimes towards her child, but then the child is also struggling because he has these special needs. So basically the movie is them basically trying to coexist with each other, as a mom and a son should do. Next up, Sophie Thatcher. Love her as an actor. Stephen King, The Boogeyman. Been a while since I watched this, but this was one of the very first, or not very first, but this is one of the few horror movies that actually made me jump and made me want to hide behind a blanket, which I know I'm going to get a lot of shit for, but it's the truth. So definitely recommend checking that out. Next up, I'm going to try to start doing this the best I can. Next up, we got The Boy and the Boy 2. I have seen The Boy, me and my wife did, and we really loved it. I'm not going to give away the big plot point, or the plot twist, but I think the first one is a really good watch. It's definitely slow, but it's good for what it is. And then you got the second film, which I've never seen, but since I liked the first one, I wanted to watch the second one. Next up, Brightburn. Thought it was dog shit. Not gonna spend too much time on it, but it's basically if Superman was a serial killer. Alrighty, then we got Basket Case 1, Basket Case 2, and Basket Case 3. I have not seen any of these, which is kind of a bummer. I do want to watch them by the end of the month, but if I'm not able to, then it is what it is. I can always watch them any other time. The first one is a Arrow 4K, and then the other two are just regular Blu-rays. So, since I've not seen them, I can't really tell you much about them. I'm sorry. Beyond the Gates, the only reason I bought this quite literally is because of Barbara Crampton. For those who know, I did get to meet her, me and my wife got to meet her last year at Full Moon Horror Convention in Nashville. She was a really lovely woman to meet. Really glad I got the time to meet her. And yeah, literally the only reason I bought this. I looked up the trailer, it looked dog shit. I read a bunch of reviews on it. People were saying it was shit, but I was like Barbara Crampton, and I only paid $5 for it, so. Second film of 2025, bring her back. God, such a missed opportunity. I will say, though, it was not entirely boring. It was a slow burn at some times, but the not CGI, the practical effects in this, and the blood and the gore in this, top tier. I would say there's times that I was squeamish, there was times that my wife and my sister were squeamish, and there was something about it just that still did not hit. It still didn't do it for me, which kind of sucks. It is not the lowest film of 2025, but it is pretty close, so, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. The Belko Experience, never seen it. Try to speed this up. Brain Scan, I thought it was alright. I went into it basically with the... I went into it with a mindset that it was Trick or Treat, and not the one with Sammy, the one with, well, not the one with Sam, the one with Sammy Kerr, and I was disappointed with it, so. Bubba Hotep, never seen it. Bruce Campbell thinks he's Elvis. Ozzie Davis thinks that he's JFK, which is kind of funny considering, but never seen it, really want to. Black Christmas, the original, and Black Christmas, the remake. Really love the original. I think it is, in my opinion, I do consider it a cult classic for the holidays. But then you got this stupid-ass remake that should have never been made that doesn't do it for me at all. I literally think this is Blumhouse, yep, produced by Blumhouse, and you are going to find very quickly that Blumhouse and me do have a lot of beef with each other, so. Bring these up here so I don't have to keep crouching down. Big Trouble Little China, really love this. Kurt Russell blows it out of the park. John Carpenter film. Highly recommend checking it out. Black Coat's Daughter, I've never seen it, but I've always wanted to, so that's why I bought it. The Barn, have not seen it yet. Blue Velvet, and David Lynch. My wife picked this one up, she was excited to watch it. I watched the trailer and it looks like a film to me, but I'm always willing to watch it, or give things a watch. And then Blood Rain, The Third Reich. Never seen this, never played the games. I literally just own this because I've had it for a while. So, I think it's a vampire film, if I'm not mistaken. 2024? 5? I think I did the research. I think this is a 2025. Yes, this, yeah. Wait, no, this is not. Is it? Hold on. I believe this is 2025. Yes, okay. I'm sorry, guys. 2025 Watch Companion, I actually really enjoyed this. It is basically a way better version of Megan. I liked it for what it was, so. But also Sophie Thatcher, I mean, come on. I think Sophie Thatcher is my new celebrity crush at this point. Case 39, I've not seen it. Really excited to check it out, though. I've heard a lot of really good things about it. Bradley Cooper in it, so. A Clockwork Orange, I've heard, is a really twisted film, but does not stop me from wanting to watch it. Stanley Kubrick. Another reason I bought this, not only because I need to watch it, but because it's got the, like, book pages in it. It's one of those. And also, it looks like it's signed, so I don't know if somebody got it signed or if that's already in it to begin with. Then we got a little bit of a documentary, Crystal Lake Memories. I do own the book for this. It's down there. The book is like massive. And I figured I would buy the film version of it. So, Cabin in the Woods, obviously really good dark comedy. I know I'm calling a lot of these dark comedies, but I would consider this a dark comedy at some parts. It basically takes all the tropes in horror movies, throws them in together, and then throws a bunch of creatures into it. The first couple of portions of this film are kind of slow, but when it does amp up, it amps up. So, and then the final act is just chaos, pretty much. Alrighty, you're gonna see this one pop up more than you probably want to. We got The Crow. For those who know, big fan of The Crow. It is my #1, yes, #1 film of all time. I was super disappointed, but I had the lowest of hopes when the remake came out with Bill Skarsgård. I'm a big advocator, and I will talk more about it in the Steelbook video. I'm a big advocator that Bill Skarsgård was not the issue for that film. It was the director and the producers. So, obviously, first Crow, cult classic. And then you had the remakes. City of Angels, I hated. I thought it was pretty fucking stupid. The Salvation, I thought, was the better of the 3, quote-unquote, remakes. And then Wicked Prayer, I absolutely hated, absolutely despised. I have watched Wicked Prayer enough times for me to like it, and I never have. So, which kind of is a bummer, but it is what it is. Next up, we got Carrie, cult classic, Stephen King film. Definitely check it out, obviously, but at the same time, I mean, yeah, check it out. I was about to say at the same time, but then I couldn't think of anything to say with that. So, Carrie, this is the 4K Shout Factory. I do want to watch this in 4K. I've only seen it on DVD and Blu-ray. I have not popped the 4K in and watched it yet, but I am always up to watching this in a 4K. Then we got the remake of Carrie. I think is one of, if not the best remake of a film. I don't know why I threw up the the air quotes. Yes, I'm a firm believer that the Carrie remake is one of the best remakes of original films, because it basically takes what is already there and just modernizes it. But it also doesn't touch it enough for you to be like, what the fuck? So, pretty good film. Chloe Grace Moretz. Chloe Grace Moretz. I don't know why I said Moretz. Alrighty. Next up, we've got, which I did it again. What the heck? Sorry guys, next up we have the Conjuring franchise. First one's the best, second was and the third one I thought was absolute dog shit from what I saw. I fell asleep halfway through it, didn't get to finish it. And then obviously we've got Last Rites that came out this year, which I did go ahead and pre-order the steelbooks. So, I didn't see it in theaters, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Like I said, first one's cult classic in my opinion, second one was and then the third one, I can't remember anything that happens in it, except for the dude is claiming that the devil made him do it, which, duh. Then we got Corpse Bride on DVD. I'm not going to talk much about it because I have another copy of it that I'll talk more about. Clown, this is an early work of Eli Roth. Really good film about this guy that dresses up as a clown, obviously, for his son's birthday party. Then he slowly starts to learn that the outfit is more than just a costume. If you know, you know. Really good Eli Roth film. And this... Never mind. Then we got the 4K box set of The Conjuring. Not going to talk much about it. Obviously, like I just told you, I think it is the better of the three. I think I've done a full unboxing on that. If I haven't, you'll see it soon enough. Candyman, rest in peace, Tony Todd. Really upset that I did not get to meet him because I was really excited to and never got the chance to. So, Candyman, I don't know what there is to talk about it because everybody knows about it at this point. And the reason that this is still in the plastic wrap is because I want to keep this one in the plastic, and then I have another copy that I actually open and watch. So, and this also is the Blu-ray. This isn't the 4K. The 4K was outrageous on eBay. This was only like, I think I only got this for like 30-40 bucks. So, I kept my 4K Shout Factory copy and then bought this one as pretty much like a keepsake type deal. The Cat of Nine Tails, we come back to this film. We mentioned it earlier with the bird with the crystal plumage. I really enjoy this one. It's a really good detective film, trying to figure out who the killer is, that kind of deal. Dario Argento, it's a giallo film. Pretty good. This is the reason I didn't talk much about Corpse Bride. We just got this in a couple weeks ago. I did a full unboxing. Did a separate video for that, so if you want to check it out, check it out. Really good Tim Burton film. But, once again, it's one that is talked about quite a lot. And then we got Creep. I have never seen this. I've heard it's found footage. Actually, I will probably end up watching this one today. This is one that's way overdue for me to watch, so I think I'll end up caving and watching it today. Then we got Crimson Peak. I have only watched this one twice in my life, and the first time was the best. The second time I watched it with my wife and didn't end up liking it, so it sucks, but it is what it is. Guillermo del Toro, it is not his fault. I don't blame him. It just wasn't my taste. Next up is Critters, the collection. This is from Shout Factory. You got first 4 films, because then you got the, I think, Krite's Return or something. I can't remember what the 5th film was, but really like the Krites. I think they're cute little balls of joy in death. but yeah, this is the Shout Factory box set, by the way. And then we got the Crazies. I just ordered, well, not just ordered, but I ordered the Steelbook from Lionsgate Limited, and it looks so sick. So I think I'm going to end up, did I open that one? I can't remember. I think I opened it. If I opened it, I might end up trading this one in, but I really, really, really love this movie. Another one that my wife watched and I didn't, and she recommended it. When I watched it, I was like, holy shit. So then we got Cujo, which I think I have. Yeah, I have a Blu-ray and a DVD of Cujo. It's been forever since I've seen this movie, but basically rabid dog. Crimes of the Future, I have not seen yet. I was thinking about getting the collector's edition to this, and I found this one for like, I think $7. So I just went ahead and bought it. It's got Kristen Stewart in it. That's kind of the biggest reason I bought this, is because of Kristen Stewart, but also because apparently it's like this dystopian society that has this weird thing with pain. So next up, we got Camp Hell. Jesse Eisenberg, I love him as an actor. I have not seen him in anything horror except for Zombieland, and Zombieland is not full-fledged horror, so really excited to check that one out, but I've not seen it. Oh boy, this is the first one of the movies that I was talking about. Cannibal Holocaust. I'm not going to spend too much time on it. I do not condone violence, as I said at the beginning of the stream, but I did enjoy this one. It was definitely a cult classic, as everyone says. But I do not recommend it if you are weak of stomach, if you are sensitive to certain materials, SA, animal abuse, because this one actually was filmed with animal abuse. So, and real animals, not practical effects or anything. There are two separate, which is this is the good thing about this release, and I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of a closer look. That way you can decide for yourself. Trying to get the name in there so you guys can see it. There you go. This release specifically, I recommend if you want to watch it but you're hesitant, because this release actually has two separate versions of the film. The first version being the one with the animal cruelty, and then the second one actually cuts out all the animal cruelty. As a horror movie viewer, I wanted to get the full experience at least once, and I got it. There was times that I was getting squeamish, there was times that I was wanting to projectile vomit all over my TV, but I powered through, I made it through, and there's not much else to say about Cannibal Holocaust. Everybody knows it. So, yeah. Then we got Clue. I know a lot of people is gonna hate on me for having this in my horror movies, but it is crime. It is a sort of detective crime type deal. I'm trying to figure out the words to say, but they're not coming out. It's a good film. It's a really good film. It's got Tim Curry. It's going to make me dig for it, ain't it? Yeah. Christopher Lloyd. Yeah. Christopher Lloyd, Tim Curry. Yeah, so, really good movie. And then we got a 4K version of The Cat o' Nine Tails. Cherry Falls, I think it sucks. Didn't really get into it, and the only thing that this had for it that made it sound interesting is instead of killing virgins, they kill people that are not well, other way around. Instead of killing people that aren't virgins, it kills people that are virgins, and the end of this film takes that to a whole nother level. Chopping Mall, Barbara Crampton, obviously, once again. This one I actually got and watched because I had her sign my other one. So, well, not my other one. When I went to the convention, she actually had copies of this movie, and she was signing them, and so at the time, I was like, I'll get her to sign it, and then I'll open it and watch it when I get home. But I ended up liking her as an actor so much that I got home, I framed up my signed copy, and automatically ordered another one. So I own 2 copies of Chopping Mall, one signed and one not signed. And I think it's a pretty good movie. So I definitely recommend checking it out. Cobweb, really good film. I don't know what to talk about it, but it's pretty creepy. The Craft, not a big fan of, which I know is sacrilege. Neve Campbell is her, and I'm trying to think of the other actor. That one right there, Fairuza Balk. Is that her name? I think. There's Robin Tooney, and there's Rachel True, and then Neve Campbell. But Neve Campbell, and then the one that me and my wife joke around that looks like Youngblood, I think are my favorite characters out of that movie. Dawn of the Dead. I ended up loving it so much I bought 2 copies. This one I ordered through Orbit. It is the second sight version, but it is the kind of like the regular. It's not like the deluxe special collector's edition. Ended up liking it so much that I ended up buying the DVD Ultimate Edition at McKay's. So I own 2 copies of Dawn of the Dead. Don't judge me. Alrighty, we got Wesley Snipes and Sylvester Stallone in Demolition Man. I've not seen it. Heard a lot of good things about it, and I wanted to get on the hype train, so I bought it and then never watched it. So, Donnie Darko, really good first film. I have not seen the sequel, but first film's really good. Alrighty, let me check this really quick, you guys, because I'm getting a notification that YouTube is not responding. Oh boy. Let me check this real quick before we keep going. Dude, I swear. If it's not played anymore, I swear I'll end this stream. I think it's still going. We should be fine. Alrighty, next up, we've got the Dexter series. I own 2 versions of the Dexter series. We have this one, which I got from Walmart, 40 bucks. I thought it wasn't bad, and me and my wife's been wanting to watch them. So, went ahead and bought this from Walmart, and then turned around and went to McKay's like a week later, and they had like the really nice special edition for the collection. So, went ahead and did that. Next up, we got Chucky and Child's Play. Another one that I'm going to get a lot of hate for, but I actually really enjoyed the remake of Child's Play. The only thing that I wish they would have changed in this, the remake, is I wish they would have took it a little bit more seriously. I would honestly put it on the fence of dark comedy, honestly. And also get rid of the whole, like, AI bullshit. That was the other thing that killed it for me, was the AI. And then the series. So, something else that I'm going to get a lot of hate for, the first film is my favorite, the first 3. After the third one, and it gets into the whole Bride and Seed and Cult, I didn't like those. I didn't enjoy them, but I do enjoy the first 3. Honestly, I think 1 and 3 are my favorite. Especially 3, because I like whenever they go to like the military camp. Alright, another series. We got Candyman, which we already talked about. This is the 4K Shout Factory version. We've got Candyman Day of the Dead. This is the 3rd film. Which, yes, I do not own Farewell to the Flesh, which I need to. And then we got the remake. The remake I thought was pretty decent. Wasn't a big, ginormous fan of it. But, like I said, I thought it was pretty good for what it is. And then, obviously, you have Jordan Peele doing the screenplay for it. So, I'm starting to become a bigger fan of Jordan Peele as I watch more of his films. Next up, we got the Crazies 1 and the Crazies 2. I do not own the third one or the remake, but there you go. I thought they were pretty good films. The first one being the best, the second one's kind of eh. But you do what you gotta do. Next up, we got the Curse of La Llorona. I have not seen it, even though I need to, because it's been out for a while. Then we got Crawl, a really good alligator film. Once again, I watched Lake Placid, and I was like, I want more alligator horror. So then I ended up ordering this one and watched it, and I actually really enjoy it. The Collector and the Collection, I think, is really good home invasion films. Well, but then the second one takes place in like the warehouse. I'm a big fan of them. I like them. I like the traps that they got going on in them. And then you got Cloverfield. I only watched the first one. The second one I fell asleep halfway through. I thought it was really fucking boring. And then Paradox I've never watched. So, the first one, I kind of liked it. It was a pretty decent found footage film, but it wasn't my favorite. So, there's that. Creepshow. I am so excited to get my Arrow limited edition version. Sorry, I stumbled. Really excited to get the second one that I ordered, but I will not be getting it until like the end of this month. It is already out, but where I ordered it with 2 other films, like I said, I won't be getting it until later. But Creepshow 1, I am a big fan of. I think it's a really good anthology series. The third one being the shittiest, obviously. The second one being pretty decent. And then you got the Shudder series. So, fun little detour is, so I own these, obviously, and I've only seen the first 2 seasons. I've not seen season 3 or 4, which I've heard a lot of people actually do that. Like, a lot of people will watch season 1 and 2, and then they won't watch season 3 and 4. So, I'm glad I'm not the only one. But I was actually going to purchase all of these on Blu-ray. And everywhere that I went, they were like 30, 40 bucks for just one season, so that would have racked up pretty quick. They just released that since they canceled the series, that they were going to put all of these seasons on Blu-ray in a really nice box set. So, thankfully, I held off long enough for that box set to come out. I just haven't pre-ordered it yet. But when I get the chance, I am pre-ordering it. I really like Creepshow. I like the first 2 seasons. I don't know why I didn't watch season 3 and 4. But it definitely takes anthology to a whole nother level. You've got all these directors, all these producers, and they basically are like, make us something spooky. And so they do. Well, some of the stories are spooky. Some of them are just flat out stupid, but that's anthology for you. Alrighty. I think we're going to start doing it this way. Daybreakers. This is the Umbrella box set edition, and this thing is sick. I've already done an unboxing for it, so I won't be doing that here. But me, my wife, and my sister just watched this like last week, or last Tuesday, and we loved it. It's a really good vampire film, but it takes you through the eyes of the vampires, and what if the whole world was taken over by vampires, but there was only a little bit of humans. So, I won't spoil it too much, but I think it was a really good film for what it is. Next up, we got Deep Blue Sea. Really like shark films. Obviously, I love Jaws, and so I ordered this through Orbit. Went through a whole shipping crisis with it, and then finally received it, and I've not watched it. So, I do need to check this out. This is the Arrow limited edition version. So, and then we got Darkman Trilogy. I've not seen these either, but I really want to. What is his name? Liam Neeson. Liam Neeson is the Darkman, and I think I'm starting to grow on Liam Neeson, actually. I wanted to see Top Gun, the new one that just came out, but I didn't go and see it, so. Next up, we got The Devil's Machine. I literally just bought this because I was at the flea market and the woman was like, if you buy so many movies, you can get another one like half off or whatever. And I was like, whatever, looks interesting. So that's the story on that one. Day of the Dead, I actually got to meet him at Full Moon last year, and he was another really cool guy that didn't get a lot of attention, which was very fucking depressing, actually. But yeah, he was really nice, and he ended up giving me a free signing. I mentioned that he played Jonah Hex in the... what was the DC series that... Hold on, we're gonna figure this out on stream, which I know sucks, but it was Legends of Tomorrow. He played Jonah Hex on DC Legends of Tomorrow, and I had mentioned that when we were there. I'm also trying to figure out what his name is, because I want to give him some kind of shout out so people will... Jonathan, I can't pronounce that last name, but it's Jonathan Scheaech. Yep. And like I said, the reason I want to give him a shout out is because he's a really cool actor that not a lot of people went up and saw. He was one of those actors that kind of just sat in the corner and everybody passed him by, and it was kind of sad. I was like, this dude's really good. Like, I once again saw him in Jonah Hex and DC Legends of Tomorrow, and then I ended up, they did a showing of Suitable Flesh, which we'll get into when we get to the S's, but he was also in Suitable Flesh, and I liked him in it. Very minor role, but still a really good actor, and it kind of just blew my mind that nobody was, you know, asking for signatures or signings or anything. So whenever I mentioned that me and my mom used to watch DC Legends of Tomorrow together, he straight up was like, here you go, and gave me a free Jonah Hex picture. So huge shout out to Jonathan. And then we got Dawn of the Dead, this is the remake. I have not seen the remake, which is kind of funny because I really like the original. So I think it's one of those cases where I don't want to watch the remake just in case it ruins one of those cases. And then we got Devil. I have not seen this one, but they were basically trapped in an elevator. That's all you need to know. Deer Camp 86. I have not seen this one. I just thought it looked really interesting. And this is whenever I was in one of my let's buy just any low budget horror film. So the third 2025 release, Death of a Unicorn. I actually somewhat liked this one. It is a very slow burn at the beginning, but whenever the unicorns do pop up, they wreak havoc. Like I said, I thought it was pretty decent. My wife thought it was pretty decent. Just give it a watch. It's not the best, obviously, but it's pretty decent. It's got Gina Ortega in it and Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd is a douchey dad in this, but obviously, how can you not be a douchey dad when you've got a daughter like Gina Ortega? So, and I'm not saying Gina Ortega is a bad actor. I'm not saying that she is a bad person. I'm just saying we've seen her in so much shit that it's getting to the point that I'm like, I don't want to see it anymore. I literally, when Wednesday Season 2 came out, I straight up told my wife, I was like, I'm not excited for it. So, it is what it is. Demons 1 and Demons 2. I have this basic-ass Blu-ray Synapse film version of the first one, and then I have this really nice Arrow box set of the second one, because I got these at Orbit. But I've not seen these. I've heard a lot of really good things about them, and I really want to check them out. So, there's those. Next up, we got Dreamcatcher. I have not seen this one either, but it is another one that was pretty cheap whenever I found it, and it was on my list of to purchase, so went ahead and bought it. Dante's Inferno. Apparently, this is like some animated film about Dante's Inferno, so thought it looked really cool. Dracula Untold, one that I needed to watch, and it was only $5, so I was like, why not? Dark Shadows. Oh my god, this is a really good dark comedy. A whole bunch of really good actors in this. Obviously, you got Johnny Depp, but then you got. Let me figure out her name here. I'm sorry, guys. I really am. Can't find it. But yeah, I mean, it's a cast that you look at and you automatically know. I mean, you got Grace that we were talking about earlier, and then you got this one that's in every Johnny Depp film, with Tim Burton being the director-producer. And then I think she was on... Fuck, I'm really bad at names, guys. I am sorry. The cast is noticeable. I'll make it easier for you guys. Next up, we got Demonic Toys. Not seen. Really excited to check it out, though. I don't know why this is in my fucking horror movies. The Day the Earth Blew Up. A Looney Tunes movie. I'm big on cartoons. My wife ain't, so... another 2025 release drop. Thank God I did not pay full price for this dog shit fucking movie. If you've seen it and you liked it, I'm sorry. If you're one of those that's like, oh, it was good for what it was. Oh, fuck off. No, it was not. There was basically no plot. Well, the plot was that she goes on this date after this abusive relationship. She gets away from this abusive relationship. She goes on this date with this guy, and the whole time she thinks that he's the one that is sending her these airdrops, and it's so fucking cringy. It is so cringy. Even my wife, which likes psychological thrillers, even she was like, dude, that was fucking horrible. It is on the very tail end of 2025 releases. I would say even worse than what was another 2025 release that I completely despise? I'd say it was worse than Hard Eyes, and I hated Hard Eyes. Yeah, I know. Next up, we got Destroy All Neighbors. Really good, campy, B-rated, dark comedy. I honestly got a kick out of this. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but I enjoyed it. Next up, we got Edge of Sanity. This is an Anthony Perkins film. He basically plays a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Roll Hyde. Mr. Hyde role. There we go. It basically is the story of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I mean, I don't know what else there is to say about it. And next up, we got Edward Scissorhand. Everybody knows Edward Scissorhand. Let me try to make this a little bit easier. Boop. There we go. Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. Another cult classic. Really enjoyed this film. I mean, it's Elvira, so you know what you're going to get into. Elvira's Haunted Hills. I did not finish this one. I ended up falling asleep halfway through, not because it was boring, but because I was super tired when we watched it. But I'm going to give it another watch, just in case I end up loving it. Next up, we've got the Evil Dead series. So here we go. I basically just own these two because they're aesthetically pleasing to me. But I do have upgraded version on Blu-ray right there, double pack. I do kind of want to buy them separately, buy individuals. And I kind of want to get them on 4K. So, there's those. And then you got the remake. I am the latter half. I do not like the remake. I think it went way too seriously. I mean, even the first Evil Dead was campy. It was somewhat funny. But then this one takes all of that and just throws it out the window and goes, let's do more blood, more gore, and take out all the comedy bits. So it is straight up serious. There is nothing funny about it. And I think that's why I didn't like it, is because whenever I think of Evil Dead, I think of comedy. I don't think of, a serious film. Next up is Eight-Legged Freaks. I know I need to upgrade to a Blu-ray. I've been meaning to upgrade to Blu-ray. I've been meaning to buy the Blu-ray. But this was only $3 at my quite literal local bookstore. So I just went ahead and picked it up just to have it until I can get a Blu-ray copy. Ed Gein. Isn't that fitting? Yeah, Kane Hodder. I just want to make sure I had that right. Kane Hodder plays Ed Gein. I need to check this out since the series just came out, but yeah. Which, I kind of like the series. I won't lie. I know it wasn't completely accurate, but I liked the direction that they took. So, Edge of the Axe. I've not seen it yet. I heard a lot of good things about it, so I went ahead and picked it up. It was also... yeah. I was going to say cheap, but then I saw the $16 price tag and was like, yeah, that was... eh. Next up, David Lynch's Eraserhead. I am really excited to check this one out. Was it David Lynch or was... yeah, it was David Lynch. David Lynch passed away this year, and I bought this before he passed away. And I was going to watch it whenever they announced that he did, and never got to it. So, but I've heard it's pretty dark. The Descent, really good. Is this one found? I don't think this one's found footage. I don't believe. Unless I'm wrong. It's been a while since I've seen it, but it's basically a spelunking film. Dead Silence. Really, really, really love this film. Probably, I want to say, I'd say top 10. Honestly, I'd probably say top 5 horror films, honestly. Really good ventriloquist movie. So, there's like a whole backstory to that specific edition. I ordered them off of Amazon, and the only time, knock on imaginary wood, the only time I had a problem with Amazon is that movie right there. I ordered it, and the first copy came in, and it looked like they had ran it over with the truck, and they were like, oh, this is acceptable, so then they delivered it, and I was like, absolutely fucking not. So, Death on the Nile, I know is not full-fledged horror, but it is a... fuck, what am I trying... what, the words are there. Murder mystery. There we go. I know it's not straight-up horror, but it is murder mystery, and it's based off the Agatha Christie book, so I really loved it. I actually really enjoyed this one and the first film, Orient Express. Haunting in Venice was not my favorite. I did like certain things about it, but Death on the Nile was really good. And then we got Death Becomes Her. Obviously, really good cult classic film. Oh, this one you don't see in a lot of people's collections. The Devil's Carnival. Really good musical film. It is top 5 musicals. And this is not a bootleg, I promise. It just never got a full release, if you want to say that. But yeah, Devil's Carnival. There is a sequel, and I really want to try to find it physically, but the physical copy of the second one is basically near to none. So, next up, you got Dead Time Stories. I didn't really enjoy this one. I thought it was pretty boring for the anthology films that I have seen in my lifetime. I thought it was pretty boring. So, we got Deadly Manor. Did I watch this one? I'm sorry, guys. I think I did. Yes. This one was pretty decent. It wasn't the best, but it was alright. Dead End Drive-In, I thought was pretty boring, which kind of sucks because the premise sounded really cool, but then I watched it and I was let down. So, Deathgasm, I'm so glad we're getting a sequel to this. This is basically if Evil Dead had a baby with, like, I don't know, some musical some musical movie, but really like Deathgasm. and they announced the sequel. So, Day of the Dead, I hated. I was so bored, almost fell asleep twice, if not 3 times, and then I think near the end I actually did end up falling asleep. Not my favorite out of the series. I like Night of the Living Dead, I love Dawn of the Dead, couldn't get into Day of the Dead. Dream Scenario, really good psychological film. This one was a fever dream and a half. Nicolas Cage pulling it off as always. So, Drag Me to Hell, I thought it was a pretty decent film. Not my favorite though of Sam Raimi's. What can I say about this one? Everybody knows about it at this point. Next up, we got Escape from New York. Really good Kurt Russell film. Definitely check it out. And then obviously you've got Escape from LA. I think Escape from New York was slightly better than Escape from LA, but Escape from LA did have its moments where it was a little bit better than New York. So, Escape Room and Escape Room Tournament of Champions, really good films. I enjoyed both of these. Really good puzzle flick, if you will. First one, obviously, slightly better than the second one, but once again, the second one had its perks. So, I would definitely recommend checking those two out. Then, obviously, the elephant in the room, we've got Exorcist 1, Exorcist 2, and Exorcist 3. Obviously, Exorcist 1, cult classic, don't really have much to talk about it, because everybody knows about Exorcist 1. And then we've got the second one, which I completely hated, almost fell asleep, but I didn't. I ended up pulling through, got to the end of it, and was like, what the fuck was that shit? And then the third one that was kind of alright. I really wish that they would have done more with, like, exorcism than what they did, but, I mean, it was alright. And I know a lot of people know this one for the big kill scene that had everybody jumping out of their skin, but I didn't find the jump scare scary. I thought it was pretty bland. I sat there the whole time that he was like running, or the nurse was running at the other nurse with the shears and I was like, that was lame. So there's definitely a million other jump scares that you could have picked that are actually scary, but that one just didn't cut it for me. Alright. Oh my god. Here's another stack. We got The Funhouse, not seen it. Toby Hooper. I really want to check it out though, so I might end up throwing it on my 31 Days of Horror list. The Fog, ended up falling asleep, couldn't get into it. I am willing to give it another watch though. I finally got to meet, well not finally, I got to meet Tom Atkins. I don't know why. I finally got to meet Tom Atkins at Full Moon in Nashville last year, and he's a really cool guy. I actually enjoyed meeting him. So, but unfortunately, even Tom Atkins could not save that film. From Beyond, obviously another Barbara Crampton film, and a... God, I am... Ken Foree, he was in this, and Jeffrey Combs. There we go. Really good H.P. Lovecraft film. If you love movies like Reanimator, you're gonna love this one. At least I think you would. You might not. Fade to Black, I was really excited for this one, and then it was really let down. Basically, this dude that's a really big nerd of movies, and he basically uses characters from the movies to do these killings, and it sounds good on paper, but the film just didn't cut it for me. So, Frankenweenie, obviously everybody knows Frankenweenie, and if you don't, then what are you doing with your life? I'm just kidding. Fright Night the remake, I actually think it's a solid remake. I would honestly put this one and the Carrie remake together. I think they do the originals justice in my opinion. So they slightly alter things, but they don't quite change everything. So Frogman found footage film, really, really, really trippy. I don't think I'd recommend it to anybody, but if you like found footage films, maybe. But I mean, even the body horror in this couldn't justify the price tag. And then we got these big elephants in the room. We got Friday the 13th remake. Then we got Jason Goes to Hell, and then Jason X. I feel like they're going to end up doing the whole series, so I went ahead and picked these up just in case they do. But if not, these are really cool additions. So, and I'm not going to talk much about those because of the next thing that we're going to be showing. Shout Factory's Friday the 13th box set. Now, I am going to go ahead and get the elephant out of the room. I did not get my copy of Nightmare on Elm Street box set, which I'm mad at myself for. But it's whatever. But I do own this one. And this one, from the last time I saw it, this one goes for some big bucks completed. So, obviously, big Jason Voorhees fan. That's basically what got me and my wife together, actually, is I based my haunted attraction scene on Camp Crystal Lake on Friday the 13th, and yeah, so Friday the 13th has a big place in my heart, and this is the whole box of it. So next up, we got The Fly. I really enjoyed the David Cronenberg version with it's Jeff Goldblum. There we go. With Jeff Goldblum, the sequel was pretty good, but it wasn't the best. But the body horror and the David Cronenberg's remake was phenomenal. So if you're squeamish, you're gonna be. And then I have not gotten the chance to see the Vincent Price ones and the originals, so there you go. And then we got From Beyond. This is, I know I own two versions of this film. I actually enjoyed it enough to own two copies. This is 88 Films. The other one was Shout Factory. And once again, got to meet Barbara Crampton. Really mad I didn't meet Ken Foree. Ken Foree was at Full Moon last year with Barbara Crampton, and I think that would have been a really cool picture to get signed, like a movie poster to get signed. But I only met Barbara Crampton. Unfortunately, did not get to meet Ken Foree, which I beat myself up about, but it's whatever. It is what it is. Okay. There we go. You guys get a little tease. The Grudge, been a while since I watched it, but from what I remember, it was alright. It was a decent film. Great White, didn't really enjoy it as much as I wanted to. Graveyard Shift, Stephen King film, it was alright. I'm not gonna spoil it, but yeah. Get Out, probably one of my least favorite Jordan Peele movies. I don't know why I didn't like it. I think it was just... I'll give it a rewatch. I think it might have been just was not in the mood for it. Gremlins 2, the new batch. I do own Gremlins 1. It is a steelbook. That's why I'm not including it in this list. But I don't own the second one on steelbook, so here you go. And yes, before you guys start wondering in the comments, that is an FYE sticker. The Gallows, one of my favorite top 5, I would say, found footage films. This one does not get talked a lot about. You hear everybody complaining, well, fighting over Blair Witch and As Above, So Below and Paranormal Activity. You never hear anybody talk about The Gallows, which kind of blows because it is such a good movie, in my opinion. That one actually had me jumping multiple times. So, Green Inferno, basically I would say semi PG-13 version of Cannibal Holocaust. Eli Roth does a really good job of capturing. So, Green Inferno. Godzilla vs. Belante. I have not seen this one yet. Really wanted to check it out. There was like a time whenever I was really into Godzilla, and you'll see that here in a second. But went ahead and picked this up. Godzilla, the original. We got Godzilla King of the Monsters. I thought it was alright. Godzilla, the American remake. Godzilla Minus One. Unfortunately, did not get the steelbook, but I'm completely fine with owning a regular 4K. Do wish it had the slipcover, but obviously it doesn't. I thought it was alright. I had a good time with it. I'm big on kaijus. I think kaijus are kind of cool. Shin Godzilla, really good film. This one just got a steelbook release, and I went ahead and pre-ordered it. It should be here by the end of the month, but really good movie. Goosebumps 1, just a really good Jack Black comedy based off of R.L. Stine. And then we got these. I hope somebody in the comments or somebody that's watching this can remember these whenever they actually did physical releases for the Goosebumps movies. This one has Attack of the Jack-O-Lanterns, Vampire Breath, and Let's Get Invisible. So, for those who don't know, or if you're too young to understand, which I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for that, because everybody's going to be like, aren't you like 23? So basically when physical media was a big thing, Blockbuster, Food City Rental, thing like that, when Target sold physical media, they sold these Goosebumps films, and each one had 3 films in it, and they would have like the main one on the front, but then they would have like 3 films in it, and they did this for a couple of them, and then they quit. So I really wish somebody, I don't know what label would do it, maybe Shout Factory, I really wish could get the rights to these and do a really big box set of the Goosebumps movies. I think that would be really sick. So, fingers crossed. And then you got Night of the Living Dummy 3, one of my favorites. And then you got The Haunted Mask 2, really good one. And then here's another one that is damaged, that I'm kind of mad that it's damaged, but it came from Beneath the Sink and Deep Trouble. And once again, 2 films in one. Next up, we got Grindhouse. I've not seen this, either films, Death Proof or Planet Terror. And that's actually why I bought this, because I wanted to watch Death Proof and haven't got the chance. Ghoulies, heard it's really good. Haven't watched it yet. And it was only $10. Freaky, really good comedy with Catherine Newton and Vince Vaughn. I thought it was alright. I enjoyed it. My wife enjoyed it. So, I'm going to fix this real quick. This is a Shout Factory release, but I don't think it has like a alternate slip or an alternate cover. So, next up we got Fear Clinic. I quite literally just picked this up last week from one of my local video game stores. They were selling it. You got Robert Englund, you've got Corey Taylor. I've heard it was really good. Basically Fear Factory type deal with saw traps. So I was like, fuck yeah. So I went ahead and picked it up. The Fair-Haired Child. This is a Masters of Horror. I've never watched any of these. My local video game store, once again, owns or has the Coliseum box set. And I've been thinking about getting it because every time I go there, they have it and nobody's bought it yet. And I've been thinking about buying it just to check them out, but I don't know. Frozen. No, not the Disney one. I have wanted to watch this ever since Frozen, the Disney one, came out. And I haven't got around to watching it, but now I own it, so that's all that matters. Faceless After Dark. This has Gina Canal. That is the woman that was in the first Terrifier film. So that's actually why I bought it. So From Hell. And then we got Final Destination 5-film collection. And then we got Bloodlines. Cannot forget Bloodlines. I think it was a really good continuation, if you will, to the series. I honestly think Bloodlines is my favorite out of the series, other than the first and third one. And yes, I did not like the second one. I know that the second one is the most iconic because the log truck, but I couldn't get into the second one. First, third, and Bloodlines is my favorite. Freaks. $5 for an August Moon. This was only $5, and whenever I was reading the back, Agatha Christie popped up, so I was like, ooh. Just have not watched it yet, which kind of sucks. Fantasy Island, really excited to check this out. I watched the trailer for it before I bought it, and it looked really interesting. Frighteners, I really wish I could get a Blu-ray copy of this, or I wish they would do like a 4K copy or a 4K release of this. I think it's a really good comedy. So you've got Jeffrey Combs, but you obviously have Michael J. Fox. I don't know why I stumbled on Michael J. Fox. Alright, next up we got the Ginger Snaps trilogy. I will be checking this one out for my 31 Days of Horror. This is the second site release. And then we got The Green Mile. This movie, I usually don't cry during movies, and this movie almost made me cry. Yes, I put it in the horror movie section. 1, Stephen King. 2, because of, if you think about the front cover. But also 3, I'm going to spoil it. Spoilers ahead for Green Mile. I put it in the horror section not only because of the moss that come out of his mouth and the, like, I don't know what you would consider it, but also because the fucking electrocution scene. If you know, you know, is why I put it in the horror section. So yeah, that Sparky scene, fuck, dude. I literally watched that whole scene, and my jaw was on the floor, and I was like, what the fuck? So, alright. Oh, I'm excited for this stack. This stack has, I don't want to spoil it, but this stack has one that a lot of physical media people really want to get their hands on, and the fact that I ordered it with little to no knowledge of the franchise. Yeah. Hammer Horror Collection, yes, you will find out in part 2 that I have my collection box sets separate, but since this is Hammer Horror, I just put it in the H's. So, and that one does come with Brides of Dracula, The Curse of the Werewolf, Night Creatures, The Phantom of the Opera, Paranoiac, The Kiss of the Vampire, Nightmare, and The Evil of Frankenstein. Next up, we've got a Mike Flanagan film. I didn't really enjoy this one. I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for that, but I thought it was a pretty meh film. Very first time physical release from Shout Factory, and Shout Factory blew it out of the water with this release, but the movie itself, I was just bored. Home invasion film. House on Haunted Hill, I'm still a big advocate that the original Vincent Price is so much better, but if you do like a good remake, this one's decent. Give it a watch. Heretic, I thought was a pretty decent film. Sophie Thatcher, Hugh Grant, Chloe East. Obviously, Sophie Thatcher, my new celebrity crush. But, like I said, I thought it was pretty decent. I like the message behind Heretic. Then next up we got House of Wax. Really enjoyed this remake. I have not seen the original yet. But this remake was phenomenal. I had a really good time with it. Jared Padalecki, Paris Hilton, Brian Van Holt, Chad Michael Murray, and Alicia Cuthbert. Next up, we got The Haunted Mansion, which I will actually admit I'm not a big fan of this one. I watch it. There's parts that I get a kick out of, but I wouldn't choose this one if I had to choose. If I had to choose, I'd choose this one, the remake. I think the remake really captures Haunted Mansion. It's a really good film. I think it is. Is it perfect? Absolutely not, but it is still good. You got Tiffany Haddish, Owen Wilson, Dane DeVito, Rosario Dawson. I think it's a pretty good remake. The Haunting of Hill House, complete first season. I have not watched this on Netflix or physically. When I found this for like $5 at my local bookstore, I was like, why not? So went in and picked it up, and it's not bootleg, actually. His name was Jason, another Friday the 13th documentary type deal. Haunting in Georgia and Haunting in Connecticut. Haven't seen either or of those. Haunting in Connecticut, I actually have. I actually watched it and never finished it. So, The Home. This is a 2025 release, and you will hear more about it. I think it's a really good psychological film. The only thing that I would change about is I wish that there was more to be excited for. By the time that the big plot twist happens, it's kind of like, you kind of figure it out, but at the same time, when the big plot twist happens, it's like, oh, okay. Like, it still gets you, but you know it, type deal. God, I hated this fucking movie. I might honestly do movie reviews, like, god-honest movie reviews. I hated this one. I hated it. I went into it with the biggest excitement, if you will, and I thought that it was going to be full-fledged slasher. I was like, and I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat it. It was dark romance. It was not slasher. You had a couple of kills. You had a couple of slasher parts. But all in all, if you sit back and you really think of this film, it is a dark romance, and it is more of a fucking Hallmark film than it was a slasher. So, they ruined the Hard Eyes Killer. Because they could have went so many directions with the Hard Eyes Killer, and they were like, you don't even see the Hard Eyes Killer that often. Hell Night, I have not seen. Really excited to check it out, though. Hills Have Eyes 1. Hills Have Eyes Part 2. The original. I do have the remakes. I think they're in the next stack, but there's the originals. Wes Craven. Ghost Ship. Really excited to watch this one. I've heard a lot of really good things about it. This one right here is one that a lot of physical media people drool over, and that is the Hellraiser Quartet of Torment. I have seen the first Hellraiser film, did not get to watch it all the way through. I ended up falling asleep, not out of boredom, but because I was tired. And when Arrow first announced that they were going to do this, I was like, well, maybe this is my chance to finally sit down and watch, the first, I think this is 4 first 4 Hellraiser films on 4K. So when they announced it, I didn't pre-order it. It came in, it sold out, and then they ended up doing the sale, and I ended up picking it up. So it was actually a birthday present. So, and then we have the 6-film collection. This one starts at 3 and goes all the way to Hellworld. So, next up we got Hannibal. Really love the Silence of the Lambs. I heard this is a really good origin type film, basically centered around Hannibal Lecter. So went ahead and picked it up. Unfortunately, I will not be able to watch this until I get a region-free player. I thought that the one that I had was region-free. It is the Sony. It's a Sony 4K region-free player, but since this is Blu-ray, it won't play it. It only plays 4K region-frees. So next up, we got the House. This is House 1, Second Story, House 3, and House 4. This is the Era release. I have not watched those. I actually grew up, when I was growing up, I watched the first one with my family, and I can't remember what happens in it, so. Okay, then this one. This is one that a lot of people want to get their hands on. This is the very first time that we ever got the Hell House series on physical media, and it comes in this really nice box set, lenticular cover. This is a big sought out box set, so I am really excited to own it. And then I'm going to do this one more, and then we're going to go on intermission. I have to take a phone call, and then we'll come back and I'll finish the last 2 stacks. But next up, we got Ghostbusters Trilogy. This is 1, 2, and Afterlife. 1 being the best, 2 being eh, and then Afterlife kind of being eh as well. I didn't really like Afterlife, but it was okay. So there you go. So let me put these down here, and then we will go on intermission.
Hey, it's Dad.
So that I can take this phone call, and then we will come back and wipe out the rest of this. So let me wait until these stupid ads. I am going to be getting YouTube Premium here soon, so bear with me, please. But alright, guys, let me do this. I'm gonna take this phone call, and then I'll be right back, you guys. Alrighty, you guys. Thank you so much for being patient with me. Had to take that phone call. Alright. Let me grab this next stack. We do only have 2 more stacks, so just bear with me, guys. I know this is a very long video, and I know you guys are probably like, oh my god. Oh, crap, dude. 2 hours? Shit. I'll definitely have to speed through the second part. Next up, we got Inside. Let me turn my audio down. Next up, we got Inside. Really excited to watch this. I've heard it's like a home invasion film, so excited for it. In a Violent Nature, I thought was absolute dog shit. I know a lot of people was really excited. and ended up loving it. I was one of those people that was really excited to see from the killer's point of view, and then got really disappointed. I thought it was pretty boring. Walking simulator, as we call it in the video game world. It was a walking sim. The original miniseries of It. Been a while since I've seen it, literally. But I liked it. Part 1 of the remake and Part 2. The first one obviously being the better when they're kids, just like the miniseries. And then whenever they grow up, it goes to shit. So, they not only fucked it up once, they fucked it up twice. I Know What You Did Last Summer, and I still know What You Did Last Summer. I do own, oh, here it is, haha, I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer. I only pay like $1 for it. Loved the first one. The second one was actually pretty decent. I like the second one, but I have not seen the third one. I'm trying to gather up enough courage to watch the third one, because I've heard it's pretty shit. It looks pretty shit. So, and then I did pre-order the remake on Steelbook, and it actually should be here in the next couple weeks. So, Hills Have Eyes and Hills Have Eyes 2, the remakes. Have yet to watch these and the originals, but we are going to be watching them. And then bringing these back up, Houses October Built. Really love these movies. It's basically, I don't know how to explain it. Basically, this group, it's a found footage film about this group that goes to as many haunted houses as they can, and the more that they go to, the more extreme it gets. And then there's like this really dark, twisted plot twist that you'll have to watch to find out, because I'm not going to spoil it. I love the film too much that I don't want to spoil it. Hocus Pocus 1, cult classic, everybody knows it. I have not seen the second one on Netflix. Was it Netflix? No, Disney Plus, my bad. I have not seen the second one, and I refuse to, but first one, obviously cult classic. Hostel 1, Hostel 2. I've seen Hostel 1, really loved it, Eli Roth film. Second one, have not seen. Okay, also, I am realizing that these are way out of order. Inside the Mind of Coffin Joe, this is the Arrow limited edition box set. I can't take that off, but Inside the Mind of Joe. Inside the Mind of Joe. Coffin Joe. And then let me go ahead and showcase these, because these actually have to do with what I'm showing next. I only paid $20 for each. This is, I think, the first one and the third one. Could not find the second one. Basically what these are is Scream Factory did these editions where it comes with a vinyl record. I think it's, I wouldn't say 8-track, but it's vinyl record, and then it comes with a 4K version of the film. And I got these at one of my local bookstores for $20 a piece, 1 and 3. And then obviously you got the complete collection. This has all the films, including Rob Zombie's 1 and 2. And this is the Shout Factory version. So, really excited to own that, because apparently that is a hard one to find. And then we've got the somewhat shitty, somewhat decent Blumhouse series. Halloween 1, 2018 being the better of the half. Halloween Kills being somewhat decent, some really good kills. You know, title, pun intended. And then Ends being the shittiest one. I think, I'm not even that big of a Halloween fan, and I will say, I know sacrilege, and I will say Halloween Ends was probably, if not the worst out of the entire Halloween cinematic verse. I thought it was absolute dog shit. I didn't even finish it. I fell asleep. God forbid I ever have to watch that fucking movie all the way through. Next up, House of a Thousand Corpses. This one is the only, in my opinion, the only good and tolerable out of the Firefly trilogy. There's this one, Devil's Rejects, and Three from Hell. This one was the better one. Devil's Rejects and Three from Hell, I couldn't stand. I couldn't tolerate it. It was just awful. And then I hope I strike a little bit of nostalgia for some people. Halloween Town 1 and 2, Halloween Town High, and Halloween Town Return to Halloween Town. It's been forever. I grew up on those because of my older sister, but it's been a while since I've seen them. Hatchet 1, Hatchet 2, Hatchet 3, and yes, Sacrilege, Victor Crowley. And the reason I say sacrilege is because I know a lot of people's going to be like, why did you put Victor Crowley with a Hatchet series instead of the V's? It's part of the fucking franchise, so I didn't want to split them up. Honestly, I know this is kind of like an origin story of Victor Crowley, but I really wish that they would have just went all out and just did Hatchet 4. So, I will say I think Hatchet walked so that Terrifier could run. It is definitely one of those really cheesy, really horrible practical effects series that are just, it's not meant to be taken seriously. So, watch them with a very open mind. The first time I watched Hatchet 1, I didn't really like it, but I rewatched it with my wife last year, and we ended up binging the whole series from 1 to Victor Crowley, and we both ended up loving them. So, good bonding experience. Haunting in Venice, we bring this one back up again. Once again, it's the worst out of the 3, in my opinion. I kind of wish we would get some more Agatha Christie-based movies. We got the original Hellboy and Hellboy the remake with David Harbour. I actually really like the remake. It's been forever since I've seen the original. Obviously, Hellboy is a classic comic book character. Hellfest, I was talking about this one earlier. Really good. Basically, what if there was a serial killer let loose in Halloween Horror Nights? Pretty much what it is. And it works, in my opinion. And Tony Todd, also. If you watch it and you don't get anything else out of it, at least you get to see Tony Todd. Next up is Haunt, which is another one that I was talking about. This one's a really good one. It's about this group of... Spoiler, I'm sorry. It is about this group of teenagers that are going around trying to find a haunted house. They find this one and they end up getting more than they bargained for. So it takes extreme haunt to a whole new level. And then last but not least on this stack, Happy Death Day. I think it's a really good film, but the second one is not so great, in my opinion. I choose the first one all day long over the second one. Alrighty, guys. And I know these are not alphabetically correct. When I do part 2, I will make sure that they are alphabetically in order, because these are definitely not alphabetically in order, and I will definitely have to go through and redo them when I redo this. So, I saw the TV Glow. It was an alright film. I didn't really enjoy it all too much. Neither did the wife. A24. Immaculate. Basically Exorcist, not Exorcist, the First Omen ripoff. Basically, if you've seen the First Omen, you've seen Immaculate, and if you've seen Immaculate, you've seen the First Omen, pretty much verbatim. I could care less about Immaculate. They were like, let's bring in someone said Sweeney Todd, Sydney Sweeney, and it'll be phenomenal, and it was not. Imaginary, I thought was pretty good out of the Blumhouse universe. That was pretty decent. It had a really good plot to it. Obviously, not a perfect film. You will hear most people bitch and complain about it, but it was alright for what it was. In the Mouth of Madness, really loved this one. You got Sam Neill, who plays this guy that's basically I'm trying to figure out the plot. I wanted to say a detective that's trying to reach the author of dropped a 4K limited edition, and I went ahead and pre-ordered it because I liked it so much. Idle Hands, really good film. I really wish we could get a limited edition Arrow for this one. I think it'd be really funny and cool to check it out in 4K. Devon Seawaw, really good actor. It Follows, if you've seen Smile, you've seen It Follows. If you've seen It Follows, you've seen Smile. Slightly different, but basically STD is how the monster's transferred. So, Invisible Man, which kind of sucks because James Wan is such a good director, but this one just doesn't work for me. It's another Blumhouse film, and we're supposed to be getting a sequel, and I'm not excited for it. Insidious 1, Insidious 2, Insidious 3, Insidious the Last Key, and Insidious the Red Door. Each one of these getting worse, and then out of fucking nowhere just being like, watch this. First one being the best, obviously. Second one, kind of decent. I don't remember everything that happened in it, but it was still a pretty good, solid sequel. Continuing on from the first one. The third one being a completely different story, and it was alright. It was a little bit more forgettable. And then The Last Key. I can't remember anything that happened in this except for the key demon, and that was pretty much it. And then once again, The Red Door, they just out of nowhere was like, watch this. And I think The Red Door is really scary. I think it is terrifying. And it is a really good sequel to the second film. So, honestly, I would probably watch 1, 2, The Red Door, and then just leave The Last Key and the third one, just leave it to the side. Invader Zim, seasons 1, 2, and 3. Yes, they did just announce that there is a box set out there for these, but I bought these before the box set was even announced, so finally get to check those out. Incident in a Ghostland, a really fucked up psychological film. Me and the wife really loved this one. This is not a bootleg, surprisingly. It's a Live trilogy. Haven't seen them yet. Happy Death Day to You, that's why I said these are out of order. Happy Death Day to You, I thought was a pretty awful sequel. It's still decent, but it's not the best. Happy Birthday to Me was alright, but it wasn't the best either. I honestly would, if I had to choose this one at April Fool's Day, I would choose April Fool's Day. The kills were pretty good in this one, but that's all it had going for it. Hannibal ended up falling asleep during it. Inglourious Bastards, I own 2 copies of this. I own the Arrow limited edition version, and then I own this really cool. I bought this one because I didn't think I was going to be able to find the Arrow version, so I went and bought this one, but I'm honestly kind of glad I did, because it comes with this really sick steelbook that is engraved. So, really cool. Eli Roth film, even stars in it. I think it's Eli Roth film. Eli Roth's in it. And then last but not least, we got I Spit on Your Grave. Another one that unfortunately I'm not able to watch because of region-free issues, but I wanted to own it anyhow. I watched these all on Tubi for free, and when I saw that this box set was pretty much the closest I could get to having all the films on Blu-ray, I was like, whatever. There is a, I believe, Shout Factory. No, it's not Shout Factory. It's the Ronin films or whatever. They did one, I think. Or was it Shout Factory? Anyhow, one of the labels did, I think, the first 2. I think first 2 or first 3 films, but this is the only one that has all the films. I would basically watch the first one, the remake, Skip I Spit on Your Grave 2. Hold on. Let me take these out, because I know I'm saying this all wrong. Basically, not all of these are worth watching. Okay. Watch the first one. Then watch the remake. When you get to this one, skip it. This one sucked. Watch the third one. Completely skip Deja Vu. And the way that you're going to want to watch these to make them make sense is obviously you're going to watch the original, but then you're going to skip and watch Deja Vu. That's the first movie and the sequel. That's all you need to know. Keep that in mind. Then when you get to the remake, what you're going to do is you're going to watch the remake. And then watch 3. Completely fucking forget this piece of shit. Now, if you do want to watch it by itself. It has nothing to do with the remake. It has nothing to do with the original. It is its own... See, I even just... I just... mixed these up. There we go. Yeah. The sequel, I Spit on Your Grave 2, has nothing to do with the original or the remake. So, there you go. Alrighty, guys, that is it for today. If you did enjoy this video, this very long 2-hour video, smash the like button if you stayed for the whole time. Thank you so much. Comment down below what your favorite movie out of this first part was, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We still got part 2 of this, which I am going to be doing tomorrow, and then we're going to be doing the steelbook. I'm just going to upload the steelbook. I don't have many steelbooks. The steelbook collection, and then I'm going to go back and do all of my box sets so that they're individual. So all of my box sets, all of my steelbooks, and then I'm going to do part 2 of my horror movie collection. After I get done with all of that, we'll move on, we'll do video games, and then eventually I will be showcasing my vinyl records, my CDs, and then eventually I will be doing my non-horror movies last. So, with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next video.